The Denver Department of Human Services has announced sweeping changes in the way it will protect at-risk children. An outside review that came after a 7 News investigation found serious flaws that have contributed to leaving children in danger. The Call 7 investigation first revealed many of these serious flaws, which became apparent in the deaths of 4 children in 9 months. Now, the report is severely critical of Denver Human Services procedures. It notes that the child's deaths have called into question the very effectiveness of Denver child protection practices. The review, prompted by the deaths of Chandler Graffner and Nevaeh Gallegos, found that caseworkers have not been properly assessing the risk to children and thereby leaving them in danger.
We've added quite a bit of structure to the process, and we've done 2 rounds of that to make certain that staff really understand what needs to be done in risk and safety under the new changes. Before an assessment is closed, we've instituted a very thorough checklist of what all the worker has to make certain they have done.
The report found there was no clear reason as to why a case would be voluntary rather than overseen by the court. In the past several years, hundreds of cases, including those resulting in the deaths of Nevaeh Gallegos and Luz Valdez, have been deemed voluntary. The review found that DHS was not adequately tracking the outcomes of voluntary cases versus those overseen by a judge.
And what we have done is to add additional administrative reviews, additional stricter criteria on exactly when a voluntary can go.
The review also found that the agency has a poor relationship with the courts, workers not prepared for court cases, and the workers believing the courts have an overall distrust of them and their work.
We have made certain that we have added a high-level child protection division director. One of their primary responsibilities will be better interface with the court system. We're also asking for an additional 6 legal personnel to help our workers be prepared for court.
But most troubling was the review team found that parents and children in need of services believe caseworkers to be hostile, judgmental, and uncaring.
We've implemented team decision making where parents would be part of the decisions about what happens, and we would be including them. We clearly need to continue to do more work on that, and we are committed to doing that.
The report reflects what a Call 7 investigation found in our review of DHS practices in the deaths of 4 children. In 3 of the 4 deaths, caseworkers never interviewed the alleged abuser of the child before closing the case assessment. At least 2 of the 4 cases were voluntary with no court oversight, leaving the children in danger. We also found poor judgments in all the cases that led to closing the assessments with children still at risk. And finally, in the Graffner and Gallegos cases, our investigation found families and teachers frustrated by an agency they said simply wouldn't listen. Now, in response to the review, the agency will request an additional 25 staffers, including experienced investigators who will conduct sex offender reviews and background checks of every person in the home who has contact with children. Now, this is in addition to 40 new caseworkers already approved by the City Council. Now, you can read the full report on the Denver Department of Human Services. Just log on to thedenverchannel.com. It's under our top story about the review.